Good morning, all. Thanks for joining for today's session. Today we are going to see how we need to work, how we can integrate AI in SSMS. Okay, so now in we have two kinds of models are there from in SSMS 2021. They have given co-pilot in that in an SSMS. Okay, you can see the difference. But whereas in 2022 we are having GitHub Copilot. These are the two differences between the versions. Now, if I go here, what is the this is the version, right? If I'm using about I'm using 20 version. Now, when whoever I mean, if you are in 21 version, so you can click on Copilot, so you will get like this. Or otherwise, click Tools, Options, come down here Copilot. See, you can also change here. By default, execution mode will be read only. Now click on this one. Here we need to get the details. Azure AI endpoint, Azure AI deployment, Azure AI keyword. Where we can get all these keys from the Azure portal. Go to the Azure portal Foundry or otherwise Open AI. Okay, so here I have created, you have to create uh, one OpenAI like this. I will show you just how I created OpenAI testing 04. Now create that one. Now let's create like AI. Select entry resource group. Name can be anything, whatever you like. Pricing and standards. Next, all the networks for now. Next, review and submit. Once it is been done, Once it is been done, it will be created like this. Now open this one. Yeah. Once this open, now click on keys and endpoints. Okay. Now before that, you need to have one model. For that, click on overview. Am I audible, right? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, thank you. Click on Open AI Azure. I mean, here all these things has been done by your cloud team, but while practicing you are the admin, everything by done by you are only, right? So that's the reason we have to make sure, like, once here come down, now come to deployment or deploy one of the model, whatever it could be. Select one model, sorry, and this one I deploy base model. Now come here and GPT, type GPT, and whatever model you would like to have, this one, select the model and click confirm. Once that is done, the model will get deployed. Right now I'm using ChatGPT 4.1. Now if I go here, now I open the keys. Now I'm just copying the endpoint here. Copy the endpoint name and go to SSMS here, and I'm pasting the endpoint here. Now I'm asking for the OpenAI key. Now copy that copy that key and paste it here. Now I need OpenAI deployment name. So in that I'm telling to this thing. This is the my key and this is the my key. What is the model that already I need to use? This is the model name. Copy this model name. Now paste it here. That's it. Now launch. See, it got launched. Now, whatever your doubts are having, click on that one, connect. Now, for example, how many user databases are there? Okay. Now you can select what is the SQL server that I have connected connected and also how many user databases I have in this. So this is the prompt that has given in my Copilot. So now it is giving me an SSR code. Why? Because it is in read-only mode. Now insert. So okay, now for new query. Yeah, once it is done insert, now execute it. Now how many databases are there? Only one. Okay, test. Okay, now uh, it is not telling what is the server I connected. So now what I will do, I will change the prompt. Okay, what is the SQL Server version? Okay, the SQL Server version is 17.4 RTM. Okay, now Enterprise Developer SQL Server, but it is giving the this current you are having SQL Server 25, but is not RTM. Okay, and 1 minute. I will check. This is RTM, not RTM. See, I am using currently um, CU2, but it is selling RTM. So this whatever information AI is giving, we have to verify manually. Okay, and it is not depending on their fault. We have to uh, review the parts how I am telling. So, for example, if you see any robo movie, it will generally we will please turn on the please put down the TV, right? We will tell. Now what Robo will do, it will pick up from the place and it will it will throw in the down. So like that, it is like a baby. How we are giving the instructions, in that way it will follow. Now, how many how many tables are there in master database? Now, whatever I'm giving in the natural format, okay, it is giving. Okay, uh, how many uh, how many tables are there in master DB? Give me query tsql query. So now I'm inserting this one. Now see 7. So like this, now here I'm asking how many tables are there. Directly it is doing, it is not giving any query. So we need to understand what exactly how we need to use AI here. Okay. Now what is the capital? What is the capital of India? Now see what is the answer they will give. See, can anyone read this line? I'm here to the SQL Server Database Relation Query. If you have any questions, so it will it is telling that I'm SQL Server assistant, but anyhow, but I know this information. This is how. Now mainly it is designed for the to deal with the SQL queries only. Okay, so this is how we need to use. This is how AI works in SSMS 21. Is that clear? If you want to make any changes, for example, this license key got expired or anything, now go to this thing, go to Azure Open. Now you can change the settings here. That is what it means. Okay. Now This is what tools options Copilot. Now here open we need to open the keys and endpoints. Once it is done, we need to copy the models. Okay. So ChatGPT Mini, what is ours? Tools, ChatGPT 4.1 I'm using. Yep. Now this is done. Yep. Now configuring GitHub Copilot. Sir, in 2022, they have removed they have removed the option to use custom model. They have been they are I mean they are forcing us to use only GitHub Copilot. Whatever I showed you the settings in Azure portal and everything, that is not going to work with the 2022. Okay, and 2022 they have given GitHub Copilot. Why? Because GitHub Copilot is like Microsoft product. Okay, so yep. Now SSMS 2022. Yeah. Now let's see the GitHub Copilot. I already asked you in the yesterday session that everybody has to create one email ID for the with outlookdomain.com. So why? Because if you have outlook.com, so then you can easily create a GitHub account.com. I mean, without that also we can create, doesn't matter, but everything will be in one alignment only. Okay, sir. Once you open SSMS 2022. Now here we are seeing that, right? Can you see this icon? How many of see GitHub Copilot is active? Click on this part. Yeah. So it will give the answers like that. Before that, what we need to do? I will check this part. Yep. Okay, I will show you. Just simple. Once you click, it will ask continue GitHub out. If you are having free account, it will continue with the that account. But remember, with the free account we are having only 1 or 2 credits. Now here from the GitHub Copilot we can use the models what it is having. Okay, now if I see the GitHub plans, GitHub Copilot, can you see free faster way to get is at $0, pro $10, pro plus $39 per month. Okay, now if I started using, right, now uh, how many, first I whatever you are doing now, first you have to connect the instance so that it will do the duty. What is the how many databases are there in the connected SQL server? So it is gathering references. Now it is giving me the same uh, copy 7. Okay, okay. Now if I give this one, see 3. So user databases. Okay, so like this you need to configure copilots in SSMS 2021 and 22. Now how to download SSMS 21. For example, if you want to download 21 right now, can anyone help me? If SSMS 21 download, right? Generally, it will go like this. Now, if I go here, now where is the 21? Can anyone help me that? Where is the 21 here to download? Everything was 22, 22 only. Where is the lower version where I can download, please? Anyone? For example, you want to practice 21, but there is no 21 here. How we need to download? Can anyone help? Hello? Are you able to see the 21 by any chance here? Hello? I'm audible, guys.
No, no.
Okay. Sir, now if you place your cursor here, so can you see the link here? HTTPS in the down in the left hand side, in the lower left, you can see that SSMS 2022 release slash SM. Now we need to copy this link. Copy link and go to here. Here you will get the 21. Now if you execute, it will download the 21. So this is how you can download 21 SSMS for your practice purpose. Okay. Yeah. Now, yeah, 2022 the new features. Sir, generally what are the new features? Connecting windows and options. While previously if you click on that, see we don't have reset button here. Now it will reset button was there. If you go connection string was not available, now connection was available, string was option was available. Now browse in the browse we don't have fabric, now fabric is also there. So these are all the first new changes while connecting windows. Okay. The second one is renaming tabs. Previously, we don't. If you see the older versions, try to go on SSMS 21. Now, if you go to try to see this name like this, you don't see the rename tab. Now we can see the test AI. See, we can rename the tabs as well. The one more thing, grid zooms. For example, if you want to, I can zoom it like this. Result query window, but I'm unable to zoom this one in lower versions. Now control, see, am I zooming or not? Yes or no? Hello? Yeah. So this is where this is how you need. This is the one option. Now data grid zoom in GitHub Copilots I showed you. Like okay. Improvements means it can be like models previously. Previously it was not like that. Now it is the integration with Fabric I showed you. Enhance linked servers. Sir, previously if you go to server objects, linked servers, right click new linked server. Sir, if you go select server, SQL server, there previously we don't have these options, sir. Okay, previously we don't have now options. Now we can have these options to forcefully encrypt link encryption on linked servers as well. So if I show you, see, can you see the differences here? This is the older version, this is the newer version. Okay. And query recommendation tool. Now if I go to the, what is that saying, query tools, query recommendation tools. So now if you have any folder or anything, start. I mean, if you have any query or anything, okay. So if you this tool will analyze if and it will it will tell us any hints are there in the code. It will recommend few hints for your T-SQL query. Okay, and it is in preview only. Just we need to use and we have to use our consciousness. Okay, now execution query. execution plan in the window. Now, for example, if I turn it out actual execution plan and turn it enable, so it will come. So previously, if you want to open in the other table, you need to copy and you need to save and you need to open, it will open in the new tab. Now it will be not like that. So here what happened, show, yeah, show execution plan in the new tab. So now automatically it will come like this in the new tab without doing anything. And when we are saving the plan and clicking on opening it again, okay, it was ready in 2 steps. Okay, that is the one thing. ARM support is there. ARM support, I mean SQL Server SSMs can be installed on ARM 64-bit processors as well. Now SSMS 2022. Now go to tools. Now go to tools, options. Now go to environment, visual experience. Now whatever seeing now I will say the mango paradise. See how it got luck. Now I spicy red. Okay, so whichever theme you would like, I mean you can utilize. Previously we don't have, now we have these options, colors and everything. Okay, so you can go with that as well. So these are all the SSMS 2022 new features. Okay, that's it. Okay, now sir, whatever R2 in SQL Server 8, we have to the SQL Server R2. For example, if any company produce some product and after selling few things, they came to know that we found these projects. What they will do? They will modify and they will say that the product revised. Okay, the same way, SQL Server for SQL Server 2008, there is a R2 edition as well. R2 means revised edition. Revised edition means significant updates, security updates, new features, or like somewhat they will add it to make the product good. Okay, so that's R2. R2 means revised edition and release 2. You can say that. It indicates significant updates to the original SQL Server 2008 or 2012 version, including new features, enhancements, and performance improvements that were not present into the SQL Server 2008 or 2008 R2. I mean 2012 R2. Okay, so this is what R2 stands for. Okay, okay. Now coming to system databases. Sir, whenever you install SQL Server, by default, few system databases will get installed. What are they? Master, model, MSDB, resource DB, hit system distribution database. If you see here, master is there, model is there, MSDB is there, temp DB is there. But resource DB is not there, distribution database DB is not there. The reason because resource DB is a hidden system database which is useful for patching, and it will host all the catalogs of other databases as well. Okay, so that's the reason it will be hidden. It will be not visible in SSMS, but it's there. Okay. Distribution database, when you configure SQL Server as a distribution server, at that time only it will get created. Otherwise, it will not get created. Okay. Yeah. Now, how to connect to a SQL Server? Sir, yesterday I showed you how to connect. How many ways are there to connect default instance? Now, I'm going to show you like how to connect these things. SSMS, you already know. SQL CMD, I will show you. Now, open CMD. Okay, type SQL CMD hyphen S hyphen S. Type Lenovo server name hyphen E. See, I have connected. Now select star from at that version press enter. Now let's go. Sir, in SQL Server CMD, always we need to use go button. Then only we get the result. Press enter. Okay. Now see SQL Server version is come. SQL CMD is there. Okay. Hyphen S means server name. Server name you have to pass. Hyphen E means Windows authentication. Okay. If you want to go out, just click exit. Now we will get. If you want to connect using SSMS passwords and everything, see this is the syntax that I have given. Okay. Now I will show you this one, right? Copy this name. You want to connect. What you will do? Yeah. SQL CMD hyphen yes. I'm passing the server name hyphen E. See, I have connected. Uh, see, it is getting the SQL Server 2025. So previously to 2022. So like that, if you want to pass the username slash instead of I for E, you have to pass U and username and password like this. Okay. Yeah. So now one thing you need to remember is whatever command you use, always you have to use go command. Then only query will get execute. Okay. So more we can find or like in this document how what are the extra commands are there, extra TCPs if you want to use the TCP. So you can go through this document and everything for in more details. Okay. I will share this one. Okay. No worries. Now SQL CMD. Sir, already we said in SQL CMD here, how can we connect, how can we connect SQL CMD again here means open SSMS. Okay, if you want to connect using SQL CMD mode, first you need to go to the query and you have to select the SQL CMD mode here. Once you select the CMD mode here, colon, connect. Okay, now whatever name I would like to connect Lenovo. Okay, now I can give the name, select whatever. Yeah, just connect. What is that it is saying? Yeah, it is saying the go. I don't know. Connection set by server button and login process send a certificate error. Okay, and now what I will do? It's running to SQL Server 2019. Previously it works. 1 minute. Yeah, now it's working. Now try to execute. Maybe something issue with the new SSMS version. I will show you this in older versions. Which work for me. Sometimes these kind of unknown bugs nobody has informed to Microsoft. Okay, sometimes it will be happen. So if I connect here, I'm opening new query. So query SQL CMD mode. See the same query. It is working in the lower version, but it is not working. It is getting. So this is all because of the bugs in applications and everything. Okay. So that's I want to confirm you. Okay. Now go to the PowerShell. How I can connect using the PowerShell? Now open this query window. I will do this one. Okay. Now open PowerShell window, run as administrator. Now, sir, first of all, use this command. If sir, I already installed all these three modules, so that's the reason, I mean, no need. If you don't get results like this SQL Server 3, this one, you have to use this command up to here. Once you done, you will also get all these three commands. Now you have to import the module. So once it is imported module, okay. Now see, invoke SQL CMD hyphen query select star from sys databases hyphen is Lenovo. So this same this is here the syntax is common. Here we need to pass our query or SQL server name. Now if I do this thing, see, I am getting an error saying that positional parameters not argument is found. Now I will remove this one and I will execute. Now what I will do, I will import SQL Server, done. I don't know why it is coming like this. Okay, previously I was working. Yeah, no problem. I will use this one. Okay, now I will use this one. See, here what happened now? When you pass this trust certificate true, it will not going to take. See, the trust certificate is not directly available in SQL CMD. Instead of the trust certificate option must be specified in the connection string. So now what is saying, I am passing all this information into the connection string. Later I'm adding I'm invoking the see this thing. Okay, so you have to use this command. Okay, up to here. Now if I this is the Windows authentication. Whenever you say trusted connection is equal to true, it means Windows authentication. Right now, if you see this is the if you want username and password, then this is the command. See, I'm able to connect and retrieve the data. So this is how you need to connect. You can connect users to the SQL Server using PowerShell. Now some in SQL Server, then I mean some application .NET application. So this is how developers we used to connect. Okay, and whenever they connect, if they used to generally the connection open and okay, so they are connecting SQL Server. What is our role? We need to give the SQL Server name, database name, and username password for them. That is our duty. And how they are implementing, it's their wish. Okay, so generally I'm telling you this is how you can how in that sample. Okay, and this is the connection string for the JDBC. Okay, now URL. Sir, generally when I was working in Microsoft support, people uh, people I mean to know the behavior of other, sometimes they are connecting to SQL server, either we don't know either the issue is with application or not. We need to check whether either it is same or not with the SSMS. At that time they don't allow to you install the SQL server. So now at that time we will create the dummy functionality like with the UDL. Now how we need to do, just open the notepad, save it as, now select all, now test.udl. Name can be anything but extension can be test.udl. Click save. Now click OK. So now you can use Lenovo server name and text connection. See, connection was successful. Okay, this is how I mean you can I mean experience the SSMS behavior if it is SSMS is not installed. Okay, for the drivers as well you can all the things providers. So you can experience the different connection errors using the UDL. Okay, Yeah. What is collision? Collision stands for like what happened means case instance two means for example in English also I in India we call it the water in America it's water. This action different between the languages between nations and accent, right? The same way in SQL Server also we have an accents. For example, you know and I know that this is the I mean open new query. This is no apple. This is also apple. Now what is so this is also apple. So you know all these are apple, but this is in different language, French, or this is the small apple is apple, but is in small letter. But SQL Server tells how we need to deal with this kind of roles. Okay, for example, this is apple. Select start from table name where name is equal to apple. Okay. Now, if you have given case insensitive, insensitive means it doesn't recognize, it doesn't consider whether it is small, whether it can be other. Now it will give the all three results. Okay. Now select start from if it table if it is a table name where name is equal to here I will give to MPP LE. So if you consider you have given collision, then as a case sensitive. Case sensitive means whatever you have given in the capital letter, you will get that only. Now you will get this only apple. I mean in the capital letter, whatever you have written. Okay, if you have written like this, you will get only the letters which you are having in the case sensitive only. Means capital letters or anything. So like that, we are having different only mainly two things: case insensitive and case sensitive. And apart from that, we are having some more words. Okay, SQL Latin general means it is telling the European languages. It means it was designed for the European languages. European stands for means what, sir? British, UK, Europe, and everything. So for that, I mean, in the Europe, there is not only English, there are French, Latin, right? So it supports English and other languages. So if CP1 means English, code page 1252. Okay. And CI stands for case sensitive. A stands for accent sensitive. Okay. Here you can see this one. There is a symbol, sir. If you see here, if you see here, here there is some letter above the E that we are calling it as an accent in SQL Server. Okay. Now, if you see here, cafe, if you and cafe. Sir, both names are same, but it is going to have in the something French or something like okay. So this is what cafe. So they will talk like that. But how SQL servers knows using this the accent letters. Okay. No need. We need to give the only collisions. We need to select the what the time of installation. They will let you know what is the collision, and you need to select that collision name only. Okay, if you see my server collision is named Latam this one. Not only on the server level, once the collisions has been set on the server level, it cannot be changed. If you want to change, you have to reset and everything. Now on the database level, you can change the collision level as well. Go to options. Here you can change the collision. See, you can change the collision as well here. Okay. For the database level also you can change. For table level also, I mean database is having one collision, but table has different collision. Yes, it is possible, sir. Okay. So E is having one common pronunciation. Hyphen he some letter is also having some common pronunciation in the French. Okay. Now why we are talking French here, sir? we are a database administrators. We are serving the clients. Okay, and clients maybe, for example, if you are a French client, you have to use is French language only in the SQL server. Okay, if it is a Japan, we have to use Japan collision as well. Okay, in collision in Japan, we are having two different languages. One is Hiragana and Katakana. Okay, Katakana is insensitive. Whatever you get, it doesn't matter. Okay, but this is the language is there with sensitive. With sensitive means same letter. If you uh, write different big way, it will carry one meaning. The same word, if you write in small letter, it will carry different meaning. So this is also various selected desensitive. This is also same like for Japanese only. All these three are all Japanese only. Now bins type is binary one. Binary sorts and compare data in SQL Server table based on the bit patterns defined for each character. So we don't have anything to do, sir. Just we need to select the what is the bin. If the customer requires whatever he asks, we need to select that one. That is only our role. Only for interview point of view, if someone asked you that what is bin one and bin two, you have to say this. Bin, if you follow the bin one is binary sort data is case sensitive and action sensitive. Sorry. Now this is one. Now sorts compare data and Unicode points of Unicode. Now UTF. UTF-8 means, for example, UTF mainly used in the web designing. For example, if you purchasing anything in the website, that is mainly in the dollars generally. Now you have to convert. So there you have to use the symbols, right? Okay, dollar to currency. Those kind of symbols, if you want to use in SQL Server, then we have to use this collision as well. Okay, I mean for the respective tables and everything. Okay. Now, this is the same thing what I said previously. UTF stands for Unicode Transformation Format. Okay, this is only with, I mean, if you use small c, it is going to carry 1 byte. And if it is, I mean, access sensitive e, it is going to carry 1 byte each. If it is a latent collision as well. If you are using UTF form in the UTF format, generally it is going to use 1 byte, and access sensitive for what purpose? It is going to use 2 bytes. Okay. ASCII and non-ASCII characters. Sir, American Standard Code for Information Exchange supports upper letters, lower letters, and digital letters. And these punctuation marks. Non-ASCII character supports this one. Now, SQL Server supports both ASCII and non-ASCII characters. So, if you want to see the symbols also, you can see in the SQL Server. Okay. Yeah. So, can anyone read this line? In SQL Server, you can have different collisions on database level, column level, or even expression level in the queries. By default, collision will get whatever, for example, whatever gene we had, the same gene will get to our children, right? Like that. So whatever the collision we had for server level, that same collision level we used to get on, I mean, for the databases and everything by default. But if you want to change, you can change it. Okay, so if you want to build the change the collision, you have to rebuild the entire instance. It is equal to reinstallation again. If you want to change the collision to the existing column, first data must be dropped, data must be supported or deleted. So these are all the collisions. Okay. Now sometimes what will happen while installation SQL Server, you will get restart error. Means someone previously did some work, but they have forget to restart. At that time, what we need to do? Go to regedit, regedit, go to local machine, go to software, current control set, control, session manager, session manager. Here there is a click on pending file reviews, remove this one, click OK. Now click on rerun, run here. It will get reset. Still you are facing the issue, then you have to manually reboot. Why? Because sir, sometimes if we, in order to restart, so client will not agree to restart since it's the business hours. So but we have to install. So at that time you have to follow this bypass. Sir, make sure that registry is a not like easy thing. So make sure that what we are doing is that in the right way. Now, if sir, why 32-bit is not available in in SQL Server 2016 here? Because 32-bit was removed from the SQL Server 2016. Okay. Now storage. Sir, now if you see here, bit, one bit is equal to either 0 or 1. Okay, and 4 bit 4 bytes is, we call it as a, I mean, nibble. 8 bits is called byte. Now 1024 bytes is equal to 1 KB. 1024 okay, is equal to 1024 is 1 KB. 1024 KB is equal to 1 MB. 1024 is equal to 1 GB. 1024 GB is equal to 1 TB. Like that, petabytes, exabyte, and zettabyte. How many of you see the Robo movie? He's saying that yes, this is TB, memory 1 zettabyte. He will say like that, right? Now, if you see that Rajinikanth movie, what the seed capacity? 1 terahertz of CPU and one memory of 1 zettabyte. Means where 1 zettabyte means what here? Here. See? Okay. Yes, he stands for here. One memory, 1 zettabyte. Okay. So like that, we have to. These are some basics of the storage. Okay. Now, sir, whenever you open any physical hard disk, it will be look like that. Spindle motor. Okay, this is the spindle motors, and this is the header, and this is the base plate where we are having. So if you want to, this is the physical architecture, how hard disk looks like. Now, if you open, it will be look like this. So every circle, it has been divided into tracks. Okay, and in the every tracks, it can be a sector. If you open the, I will show you, sir. This is the my hard disk. Everything it was divided into like this. Okay, this we are calling it as a tracks. In the tracks, we are having again sectors. Okay, each sector stands for 4 KB, something whatever you are with how we are formatting na. If you see here, go to this PC. I'm not formatting. I'm just trying to format. Okay, I'm just sorry. Yeah, see with the with what partition size I would like to format, that many bytes it will get changed. For example, if I kept like this, every size it will be comes like 1 minute. So if 8 9 2000 bytes, don't click that. Just I want to show the proper. If you do the format now, everything will get removed. Okay, so don't. Now it will the size. If I format with that allocation size, then it will be like 898192. It will create the with the each size that kind of partitions and everything in the hard disk. Okay, if anything physically damaged in the hard disk, that we are calling it as a bad sectors. If the data is not going to store in the bad sectors, if it is already stored, then with that data we cannot recover. These are all things are can be handled by the system administrator. Only thing is either we have to check the hardware health as well. Only that is the only thing we need to ask the system administrator. What is the is hard disk health is good? Is there any bad sectors? Then we can see that. So So properties, tools. See, you can see this error, or you can see the optimize. So if you see here, so it is hard is okay currently since this is the time. Select the data, click optimize. So it will check the optimize and there is some few commands also there. Okay, so that will tell us the what exactly they need to do. Okay, first. Okay, so this is what like you need to know that there is sector some allocation. Now from 2012 we have an option called grant perform value means task. Okay, in this option is there. What does it mean? In the interview they will ask you what while installation SQL server, are you going to select this option, yes or no? You have to say yes. Then they will ask you what does it mean, then you have to say this answer. Whenever hard disk is there, whenever we are going to create a database, for example you are creating a database, like create database name, like this you are going to give with 50 GB whatever it could be. Now these are all sectors, right? Everything, if it is a 50 GB, in the every sector it is going to write with the zeros. First it will write the zero for every sector, every bytes it is going to write like this we are calling it as a zeroing zeroing process. If the zeroing process happen, then only the database will get created. Okay, so in order to avoid her bus, you start the I mean you again, for example what it is saying now, if we allow the database, first it will create the database without zeros. After that, whenever the data got inserting, right, at that time it will it will start the zeroing and everything as much as page, if data is inserting it will inserting the zeros as well. Okay, so generally we need things very fast. Okay, so that's the reason everybody will try to skip this bypass. Okay, so in the interview they can say that in order to skip the zeroing process for the MDF data files, we select this option. So this is the one way while installation SQL Server. If you already install, then you have to go to the GP edit group policy, edit group policy, security set administrative settings, not this one, security settings. Okay, local policies, user rights assignment. Here perform. So perform value means task. Click on this. What is the use service account that we are using here? For example, this is the store Lenovo is the my service account. Let's assume like that. So we need to add that service account here. So that is, and we need to restart the instance. It means we have enabled grant perform value means task. If you forgot to add it there, then you can go in like this. So you have to say this like while installation itself we can enable, otherwise we can enable using the group policy. And from SQL Server 19 we can have this option in the here as well. Okay, yeah. So SQL Server bypasses the zero initializations. What is the advantages, sir? While creating new databases, adding new data files, autograph existing data files, restoring databases. These operations can be speed up. Means we can maintain these operations very fast if we disable this one. So we can call it as a grant performance value means task, or IFI means instant file initialization. So how to check whether it is can be enabled or not? For example, in organization, if you want to check, then this is the command. See, it's already enabled for this. Now I will go to the another thing. See, So it is for this also it is enabled. Okay. Now, yeah. So I will check another one. Yeah. So this okay. So for this, I think I have installed all these things while installation SQL Server itself. Okay. So this is how you can check the installation file initialization. If you want to see that if zeroing process is going on, then you will see this wait type. Okay. Sometimes what will happen if you are using 1806 trace flag, then installation behavior will not be applied. And if the database is having TDE, then installation violation is also not enabled. I mean, not going to work. Not going to work for the TDE enabled databases. What is TDE and everything we are going to see in the future. Now, engine versions. Sir, if 2025, it is a 17 version. If you see here, sir, here you can see 17 version. 17 version. If you see the lower version, if to see the lower versions, see while connecting itself, you can see this engine number. By seeing that number, you can see this is the 2019. This is the 2025. So like this, you can identify the numbers as well, engine versions and everything. On-prem engine versions are different, cloud engine versions are different. Okay, so no need to differentiate all these things in the cloud. Okay, like the cloud means Azure SQL databases and everything. So along with the data engine versions, we have database internal versions as well. So just it will get changed for the CU to CU as well. Just for a few purpose, no need to remember these internal database versions. The reason why because if you try to attach a 2025 database in 2022, this will get an error. Could not open new database, create database about it. If you try to restore in lower versions, this is the version saying that because the version is 2000 now 4 9 I mean 914. Why? Because versions are different. Okay, how to check all these things I already showed you, but I will show now itself. So 91198. So if it is already back BAK file, you have to use the BAK file path here. And now if I see here this one, so here you can see the version 998. So this is where you can get these many ways are there using trace flags also I showed you in the last time. So yeah, and sir, for example, the every SQL server is having one configuration manager. How many instances you install doesn't matter. For each and every time, for example, you have installed configuration manager for two time for SQL Server 2025. For 2025, we have one configuration manager. For every version, we have one configuration manager. If you want to open, shortcut is like SQL Server Manager. If you want to open 2016, now 16.msc, see it will open. Okay. Now one thing what you need to remember is higher version SQL servers can be seen in the lower version SQL Server configuration manager can be in higher version, but higher version cannot be seen in the lower versions. That is what remember. If you see here, this is a 2022 configuration manager. By any chance, you are seeing 29, 22, 5, everything, but you are not seeing the 25. Now what I will do? So now I will open 2016 manager 7. See? Yeah. See if you see here the difference here. Okay, where is the 2025 here? And again, this is the 10. Yeah. So wherever I can see 2025, can you anyone see the 2025 here? See, you can see 2025 here. Why? Because it's a 2025. If you come down, see here also we are seeing. I think it is lower version. I don't know. So I will try to open on lower versions. So if I open PPT here, so I will open 11. Not here. Yeah. See, not this one. You have to see this one. Okay. You click on SQL Server. See now you can see the only SQL Server. I have opened in the 2012 configuration manager. You are seeing here this one. But if you go here, SQL Server, see how many SQLs are there. Because higher version SQL Server configuration manager will show you the lower versions as well. Okay, now lower versions cannot show the higher versions. Just you need to remember this point. Okay, so yeah. So if I go to the directory, sir, whenever you are installing the base directory, I mean SQL Server, we have two directories. One is base directory and instance root directory. If you see base directory install where are binary of the SQL Server. This is the base directory. Once you install, it cannot be changed. It will be permanent. Now you can change the installation root directory. Okay, these are all the installation directories as well. Okay, I mean in the base directory only it will be like this. Okay, so C program file SQL Server, C program files the Microsoft SQL, so you can find all these things. Okay, root directory means it belongs to separate instance and everything. Yeah. So no need to, just no need to, for your knowledge only I'm saying nobody ask you in the interview as well this related. Okay. Now SQL browser. Sir, if somebody comes to your home, somebody has to be there inside the house to welcome you, right? Yes or no? Like that, if you are using the named instance, one person has to be there to redirect to the concern SQL server. Then that person, our SQL server in our machine is SQL browser. How many times you install SQL server? At the time of installation, only SQL browser was being installed for only for one time. Where is the browser here? See somewhere how it is missing. You can check from your end as well. So SQL browser will be there here. Okay. Where it is there, backup master is there, everything is there. Yeah, see, SQL Server browser is there. Okay, now what happened? It will in the interview they will ask you what is SQL browser. Now you can say SQL Server browser is a service or information to the client compete. Is the primary role is to enable incoming requests for SQL Server and direct to the request to the appropriate SQL Server instance. Mainly this only this line you have to say in the interview. Okay. So now what are the key functions in the for the SQL browser? When multiple instances has been installed on single machine, now this browser will help the clients. Clients means either SSMS or whatever application how the connection is coming to the machine. Now it will redirect to the concern as SQL Server instance, and it is mainly used for the port resolution. Okay, SQL SQL Server uses UDP port number 1434. Okay, we have only one browser per system. So this is the client send request to the SQL browser and the UDP port 1434, and browser listens those requests and it redirects to the appropriate instance. So this you need to say the what is SQL browser. SQL browser is to listen the traffic, SQL traffic if multiple instances install and redirect to the concerned instance. So this is the SQL browser mainly we use we use in the named instance only. Okay, so sometimes in organization as per best policy they might disable this SQL browser. For example, if you are any facing any issues, you might start enabling that to for just testing purpose. Okay, once it is success, then you have to say this is how I mean resolution is been there by using SQL browser only. Okay, yeah. So all of now this is for today, and we'll meet you again on Monday. So any doubts as of now in this video, and in this session, any other doubts? So I'm stopping for the now.